this is a tight fit. Hey guys, welcome back to another Slimefun episode with Boomer. So after I finished, After I finished the last episode, and I was trying to come up with a power source for our cobblestone generator, I kept running into a cost versus benefit problem and what it was going to take to make it and get enough cobble, and really just about every source was falling short given my current status and material levels. So instead of that, the first thing I started thinking of was solar, because on the last server where I played Slimefun, we did solar. That was all we did, that nuclear, because you can get solar to run at night too by using energized generators. Well, in looking at running a Carbonado one, which is one short of the energized, the sheer materials list I'm putting together was pretty extensive, and the one thing that kept striking me was silicon, because you need 144 silicon and 144 ferrosilicon to make the Carbonado solar generator. If you're not familiar, to make silicon you need quartz block. So 288 quartz blocks are 1,152 nether quartz. I am not mining in the nether for 1,152 nether quartz. And if I showed you where I landed in the nether, there's almost no nether rack anywhere near it. I had to go out like 60 blocks to find any just to begin with. So the one question that I started asking myself was, hey, Boomer, what about the industrial miner? Taking that into the nether. I'm wondering just how many people have thought about, does that thing actually work in the nether? My thought was it was just in the overworld. I didn't even think of trying it in the nether until I'd asked the question. And myself said, sure, let's go try it in the nether. So me, myself, and I went to the nether, and we placed it down, and sure as heck, we got ourselves 19 nether quartz ore. I said, great. We can make a magical plant because I have so much bone meal. I can get a ton of quartz sitting inside of an enclosed building, not having to run the nether. So how does this work? It come under the exotic garden magical plants, and we're looking to make a quartz plant, because when you bone meal a quartz plant, you get magical essence. You turn the magical essence into nether quartz. So to make one of these, we need 4 nether quartz ore plus an ender plant. Well, how do you make an ender plant? 4 ender pearls plus a lapis. How do you make a lapis? Well, 4 lapis ore plus a redstone. 4 redstone blocks plus a gold plant. So you get the idea. So it starts with a wheat seed and 4 coal ore. And then from there, we would make the iron plant. From there, we make the gold, then the redstone, then the lapis, then the ender pearl, and then the quartz. Eventually, we're going to have 100% fully automated farms of all of those, of every single type. Oh, it's raining, but I've got Optifine. I got weather turned off, but I didn't turn off the rain particles. So I guess it's how I can tell it's raining. So I have everything with the exception of the ender pearls. So what we need to do is find ourselves some endermen. And I know we've had a couple come and visit the base and say hi. I'm trying to see where the sun is right now, but if it's raining, I might not be able to. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't see the sun right now. I'll tell you what I am going to do. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is just hold off until I know it's night, and then we'll come back. Alright guys, so it took us a few minutes, not too long, and we now have our grass seed. It looks just like the pumpkin seed. That's what was confusing me when I thought I first had it. So we're going to head down here to the Skelly farm, and we're actually going to plant a grass block. Yeah, I had to mine some cobble in here just to get me going. And we'll keep clearing out, because maybe we'll get lucky as we go down and we'll find a slime chunk. Although we can automate it slime farm, we don't have to worry about doing that. That's one of the nice things. A lot of vanilla farms don't actually need to get built, because we'll be able to fully automate them in Slimefun. Okay, let's place our block. Let's turn it into grass. Voila. Now let's plant our Slimefun plant. Still trying to get used to playing with the keyboard. Sorry, guys. That's the arrows. Let's grab a few stacks of bones just to get going here. Okay. So here's what's so nice about this. We just sit on this. So what you're seeing is a plant grow. I'll try to stop one. Puts a leaf down. You get a quartz head on top, and you get this little essence. Okay. So when we take these back to the magical crafting bench in the industrial building, we will be able to turn those into quartz. Now, yes, it is going to take a while. So this is one of those cases where I might just sit here and right click and unplug my mouse and let it rip. And I'll just keep putting bone meal in the inventory and work on something else. So you can see it takes probably on average, 5 or 6 bone meal to get one of the essence. So we're going to be at this for a little bit, but I think it's going to be faster than going into the nether. So I'll come back when we got enough. Alright guys, so we've been at it for probably about 15 to 20 minutes. We went through around 16 stacks of bones. We got ourselves 18 stacks of quartz essence plus 18, which was really nice because then I can make a few comparators that I'm going to need for my sorting system down at the skeleton farm. Why does that happen? That is weird. Alright, so let's head over and turn this into quartz, and then I'm just going to have to do some resource gathering, and then we can come back and talk about the last piece to get this generator running. So we've got the generator, but it's got to be Slimefun powered, so that's what we're working on making. So if I were to put this in here, yeah, double click. What? Oh, it no longer lets you double click. I can single click. Alright, so we're going to hold this down. This is going to output right into the output chest. It used to be you could double click and it would fill it all up, but now it's only a single click. I wonder why. Look at that. Look at that. 8 stacks of nether quartz. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, get that one going. So I have to go out and do some resource gathering. I've got to get a couple stacks of sand. I'm going to have to do some serious mining because I've got to come up with, a couple of stacks of iron. I mean, the iron I've got, it's more aluminum I need to get, some copper. And those aren't the, copper, iron, aluminum are the 3 that you'll use the most of, probably followed by gold. And then from there, that's going to vary a little bit, but so here's our 18 stacks. There we go. Now I can double click out of the output chest. That's weird. Maybe I just wasn't doing it right. And block of quartz. Block of quartz. Yay. This is so much nicer than going through the nether. I'm telling you, I need to do this more often. So we will spend some time in another doing some things. It's just not going to be as much as we probably used to. But we do want to go in and have some fun in there and see all the new things. So we've got our quartz. I'm going to, just for now, stick that in there. We'll come back and turn those into comparators at a later date. So I'm going to go resource gathering and I'll be back. All right, guys, so we're back. We've had to do some serious resource mining. We literally went through an entire diamond pick mining cobble. We got materials. We aren't quite done yet, but I can show you where we're at. We've gotten enough to make the solar panels and the aluminum ingots. Right now we're working on the 16 motors. So we've got the copper wire. Oh, where's my guide? I had a couple of rough moments in another collecting netherrack. Let's see. So let's go back here. So we're about to make the batteries. And then we've got to work on a cobalt, the magnet, and the nickel. And I'm worried that I don't have enough material at this point. I may have to do some more resource mining, but let's go ahead and make the batteries. And we'll stick them in the chest in the appropriate spot. So this is level 3. So now we need to make the cobalt ingot. So for every cobalt ingot, we got to remember we need to make a second nickel. So we need to get, we're going to do 32 nickel ingots right off the bat. So we need 32 iron, and 32 copper, and I know I don't have the copper dust left. I'm willing to bet, yeah. Matter of fact, I think I lost my last 11 in another. I think I took it with me. Yeah, well, guess what? We're going to be doing that, but just a couple of things real quick so that you guys know, in case you're unaware in Slimefun, when you are at this stage and you're panning, when you get flint, you can recycle that back into cobblestone. If you come back over to the compressor, I believe it's 6 flint will give you 1 cobblestone. So let's just look up the compressor real quick, just so you guys can see how to find this kind of information. If you look up cobble or you look up flint, you're probably not going to find it. You actually need to look at the machine itself. So when we look at the compressor, we can see here it's 8 flint equals 1 cobblestone. Also, 4 stone chunk equal 1 cobblestone. So when you get stone chunks out of the panning machine, out of the ore washing machine, you can turn those back into cobble. You can turn flint back into cobble. So at least in the beginning stages, when you get that extra stuff that you don't want, you can recover some of that back into cobblestone. I did that after washing 24 or 25 stacks roughly, and I had gotten almost 5 more stacks of cobble back. Well, I've used it all. So at this point, we're on a temporary break again, I guess, until I go get some more copper ore. So let's figure out just how much we're needing to put together here. Let's do a search up on solar. So again, we got to make 16 of these generators. So we need 16 cobalt ingots. So we need it for the copper. To make the nickel ingots, we also need it. So we need 32 just to get this. Then we know we need 16 more for here. And we know we need 16 more for here and 16 more for here. Sorry, 32 more. So to make these cobalt ingots, we need 32 copper dust. To make these nickel, we need 16. So that's 48 and 48 plus the magnet. Wow, that's going to be a lot of cobblestone. That's going to be at least 96 copper dust that we need. I ran 24 stacks of cobble through, and I got roughly 50-ish copper dust. So based on that, I'm going to have to run 2 chests worth of cobble through to have any chance of getting close. I'll see you guys in more than just a little bit. Well, 2 diamond picks later, here we are. We managed to get just over 2 stacks of copper dust. So we, actually, you know what? We're not going to fire any of that in a smeltery because this is all dust that we needed, right? So let's see here. We've got the batteries made. So let's do the magnets. No, you know what? Let's start with the nickel ingots. This will be easier. All right, so we need 16 nickel ingots to make the magnets, plus a 16 for the cobalt. So that's 32. We need 16 in here. That's 48. We need 16 in here. That's 64. So we need a stack of iron ingots, a stack of iron dust, and a stack of copper dust. I may have to go back to the other side of the base to get these. Let's see, iron's number 4. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'll be right back. So I went and got some iron ore, and actually, guys, it's better to go ahead and use the ore crusher here than to smelt the ingots down from the ore, because in the ore crusher you're going to get 2 dust for each one, and then you can take the dust and turn it into an ingot. So 2 stacks of iron ore could potentially yield 4 stacks of ingots, where in a regular furnace or even a blast furnace that's going to give you 2. The only place where it might be a little bit better is the Carbonado furnace, where you get 3 times, or potentially up to 3 times, the drops, but that's not a guarantee. So don't hold that Okay, it's not absolute that that's going to happen. Here's what I love about this, man. You just go to town. That automatic ignition chamber is so nice. I remember the first time I started playing Slimefun, and I had to craft like 16 ingots. And it took probably an hour of relighting and relighting and relighting, and I tell you, it got old very quick. Okay, so a stack of iron dust, check. A stack of iron ingots, check. Stack of copper dust, check. So now, going back in here, iron dust, iron ingots, and away we go. So this will give us our nickel, and then we're going to turn half of this into cobalt. Something tells me, though, I'm not adding up right. And if you've got that suspicion, you're right there with me. It feels like I'm missing something. So there's our nickel. To get the cobalt, then, we need nickel, copper, and iron. So we're going to do half of those. Okay, so we get half of our nickel, half a stack of nickel, half a stack of copper, and half a stack of iron. Now eventually I have to put more flint and steel into the automatic ignition chamber, but that's no big deal. We've got a bunch prepared. So there's our 32 cobalt, and we have 32 nickel. So to make the magnets, 16, 16, and then we need 16 iron dust and 16 aluminum dust. So let's go grab 16. Oh, look at that. We got 16 perfectly laid out there. All right. And that is going to be in the smeltery. Almost all of them are in the smeltery. There's only, I think, one or two that would be outside of it. So aluminum, iron, nickel, and cobalt. And this should give us our magnets. Look at that, baby. We got 16 magnets. All right. So now we're going to put our magnets up here. We have our 16 cobalt, actually, and our 16 nickel, so we can turn these into the next step. Now this is through the crafting bench. Whoops. So nickel, magnet, cobalt, and battery. Here we go. We have our electromagnets. Now, from there, now we need our copper wire, which is in here. Whoops. I gotta remember to get off the guide when I'm doing this. Guys, we're going to have power here soon. This is cool. Yeah, that's fine. We can do it this way. 2, 2, and 2, and the electromagnets. All right, hit it. We're going to have power, baby. We can start building stuff. Electric motors. Grab the next layer. All right, get in here. So we take this over 3, take this over 3, pull that down, and put our motors in, and watch this. So now we should have 16 solar generators. Okay, we're almost done. Because to make the next layer, if I remember right, I gotta look it up, but if I remember right, we need more aluminum. Yeah, so we need 4 aluminum. And of course it's got to be redstone dust. And then a final level, I need 4 more aluminum and a carbonado. So I've got to get, what is it, 8 aluminum. And I'm going to have to go make a carbonado. That's going to take me just a little bit of time. Yeah, 4 aluminum there, 4 aluminum ingots. And 4 aluminum ingots. Okay, so I need to get a redstone dust. But then to make the carbonado, got to make a raw. So I need a synthetic diamond, a carbon chunk, and a glass pane. So we need 2 carbon chunks. So I need 8 compressed carbon, 16 compressed carbon, 64 carbon. So I need 8 stacks of coal. This is where this gets expensive, just trying to maneuver this. I need 8 stacks of coal, flint, which I've got plenty of flint, so 2 flint in 1 glass pane. And I think I have some glass left over. So I think at long last, we are finally ready to finish this up. We are down to 4 advanced. Now we're going to turn this into our Carbonado. Carbonado in the middle, aluminum ingots, and voila. Oh, we've got a Carbonado solar generator. Now just so you guys know, these do not work indoors. They have to have skylight. So what we're going to have to do is build a protective casing. I just got to make sure I get the right spot. 239, okay. So for, I don't want carrots. So for now, what we're going to do is find 239, 238, 239 is the tree, okay. And we're going to, if I can, yep, I got some glass. We're just going to use these glass panes right now to protect it. I know it's not much. Until I can get something better over here. At least it'll house it. And if by some chance I catch myself in a bad spot with a creeper, maybe it'll be enough to hold it for now. Okay. Now what you're going to notice though, is there's still not enough energy. We have to get a regulator into the network, power regulator. So that's the last thing we have to build to activate this cobblestone gen. So now if we search regulator, silver ingots, Damascus steel, which we already have a couple, and another motor. So let me get this built and we'll come right back. All right, we have our regulator. Took us a little bit. We had just enough resources after another cobble mine. Now, something about the regulator that you need to know. It does not broadcast in a circular radius. It goes horizontal and vertical. So it can go forward, backwards, left, right, up, and down. And it will broadcast up to 6 blocks away. So you can have 5 spaces between the regulator and any type of capacitor or energy transfer unit. You'll see right now it's showing a -24, and it's because I placed the generator underneath the roof. I don't have time for this. We are going to break the roof for now. There we go. So the regulator regulates the amount of power moving back and forth on the network. The fact that it was going up and down just a minute ago tells me that the cobblestone generator is using power, which means we're generating cobble. If I can get back into my own office, I need to change that. Finally, we have cobble. Oh, this is so sweet. So you see the rate that it's generating? 10, 11, 12, 11. So it's getting about 11 for every 24 joules it grabs. So what happens when it hits a stack here? Not enough room, so this holds 1. So while that's going, I can take this cobble, smash it down in a gravel, or I can just sit here and let it go for a while. My guess is a hopper underneath it is not going to work, although I will be trying that to see if I can get a hopper to pull it out. My guess is we're going to have to set up networks. So guys, with this amount of insane work that it took to get that going, and just wait till we get to energized, that's 4 more times what we just did, plus some blistering ingots. So we're going to wrap this up right here. I know there's a lot of cuts I got to get edited for you guys, get this video up. I do appreciate the time you take to watch and learn. So we've completed a cobble gen, we've completed a regulator, and we've completed a Carbonado solar generator, and made a few mistakes along the way. But I appreciate you watching. If you're new, consider subscribing. And as always, when you're playing Minecraft, you've got to go boomer or you got to go home. We'll see you later.